All right, this morning I want to ask a question. How can we and okay, let me give a background to the question. A listener sent to me a quite horrible video, and not horrible in the sense of like crime or anything, but it's a horrible video from Kaneshie. You know Kaneshie floods a lot.
Yes.
So he sent me a video from Kaneshie, and this video is showing refuse. In fact, there's an audio attached to the video. All right, maybe I'm going to send it to Godfred Odom to play for me. It's on the CBS platform, right, Godfred? And then there's a message. Bernard, just what you were discussing yesterday. This is Kaneshie, opposite the market complex on the other side. It's been dredged, and I can assure you that this thing will sit there throughout the week. If voices like yours do not call for action, the stench is crazy. Bernard, our country is sick, and the level of disregard for doing the right thing goes right from those in authority to the ordinary Ghanaian. It's heartbreaking to say the least. Now, this is from Inusa Babakama. Inusa. Now, it's a video, and I wish you could air it for me, Nathan. So basically, they've collected sludge from the gutters in Kaneshie. It's black with polythene and all the rest of it.
Yep.
And they've left it in front, or they've left it on the road. And what's so bad about this is that there are shops selling ostensibly food or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See the shop. There are shops just in front. People are walking. Cars parked. The road is black. It's muddy and smelly and stinky and horrible. Question. Oh, I don't have the English version for this question. So let me ask it in three. I don't know if you can translate that in English for me. Or in Ghana. Why how do I put it?
No,
things don't.
Maybe if he were tongue.
If he were tongue down. Like, I don't get it. It's a video. It's a video of 46 seconds or 47 seconds or so. And it's symptomatic of people who have lost sense of cleanliness. So today, what can we do to make our city cleaner? What should we do? Should we declare a national day of cleaning? An epidemic of filth has engulfed the city. Gutters are choked. Streets have been filled with refuse uncollected. Door-to-door refuse collection is strained. Nathan, there are a couple of messages that came yesterday about refuse collection. I would like you to go through some of them. I want us to talk together. Ghanaians, tell me what happened. What happened? Why doesn't filth? What's the English word for a time? I know I need an English word.
You are disgusted.
Yeah, why doesn't filth? Disgust is more. I don't know. Is that the word?
That's the word I can.
I need English for adiya time. You know, why doesn't filth disgust us? I think there's a stronger word for it than disgust. Yeah, why doesn't filth? Yeah, disgust. Maybe that's the word. Disgust us anymore. Because this is Kaneshie market. This is a well-planned market, people. This market is not. It didn't. See, this is the thing. Kaneshie market is not a market that just evolved. It's a proper market. So why will somebody put filth on the road? Okay, are there people who manage Kaneshie market? Kaneshie is Okankwe South. Okankwe South is part of AMA. Why will they allow this dirty thing to be on the road at 6 o'clock this morning, dripping with smelly, stenchy worms? Why will people who are educated, people who have why will we allow this? Why does anybody get punished? Why? So the people, okay, whose job is it? Do you get me? In my house, if you wake up in the morning, everybody has there's a place that's supposed to be swept. When I was in school, University Primary School in Legon, Section Green, we had a particular place to sweep. So if you go, and Randolph was Section Green prefect when I was in University Primary School. So if you go to school, Nani Clear was Section Yellow prefect or something. If you go and maybe in front of Class 2U, if Class 2U is not swept, Section Green prefect will bear the responsibility. So if Bernard is in Section Green and he gets to school, he puts his bag down, he takes a broom and sweeps in front of Class 2U. if class 2 is not well swept and the teacher comes, why isn't 2U front swept? Is section Green which is on duty? Who is the section prefect? Randolph. Why didn't they sweep? It was Bernard. Why didn't Bernard sweep? 6 classes. Like this is how you are trained as a child. So how do you go to Kaneshie market and there's refuse there uncollected? Now that refuse shouldn't be there for even 1 minute. It's been there since 6 a.m. It can be there for 3 days. Now my question is, from the person who's selling in front of the market, as in the person whose shop we showed, to the person who is in charge of sanitation in the market, to the person who is in charge of sanitation in the assembly, so in the sub-metro, Kaneshie sub-metro, or whatever, they call it Okankwe South, right? To the sanitation officer for the AMA, to the mayor of Accra, to the minister for sanitation, to the minister for local government, to the MP for the area, to the president of the republic. How come this dereliction has been allowed to be there? Like a well-functioning community. This is not rocket science, people. In the same way that in class 2U, you are supposed to sweep in front of a class, and which is why Mr. Atta comes and the place has not been swept. He comes with the cane and you give you 6 lashes. He's trying to tell you that you are responsible for the space. And this is me as an 8-year-old. Then we grow up together, we go to university, we get degrees, and then we come together and we are in Kaneshie and the market has refuse and nobody collects it and people don't care. Worst of all, people are selling food next to the market and we have no idea. Like, how did we get here? Just that. It's like, for me, you cannot allow, you see, if you allow refuse to remain uncollected, you are sending a message. I want something wise to say, like, tolerance of dereliction is a message. If a leader's message is not just come and let's do this, what you allow is a message. So if that refuse is there in this Kaneshie market and you don't say anything about it, you are sending a message that this is allowed, this is okay. You are saying, it's like my kids. If one of them just gets up and hits the other one under no provocation, I have to let them know that they can't do that. So my acquiescence is a message. So like I'm sitting there watching TV, then one of them gets up and slaps another one, pa! Then I say, oh, why did you do that? No, I gotta groove him. I've got groove him. Like I've got groove him. You know, I don't know the word for grooving, but I will groove him hot, and I'll say, if you do that again,
you spank him.
Yes. So my point is, from the person in charge, who is in charge of that road, do you have the voice? I wish I had a video. Show it on Facebook or something. It's not too audible. Listeners, it's like a half mountain of black.
Yeah. But it wasn't the only place. Yesterday, just in our corner here, just close to the Odona clinic, it was happening. There were several little mounds of sludge.
Nauseating. That's the word I was looking for. Go ahead. Sorry, I was looking for the word nauseating.
Yes. So yeah, it was there. Little mounds across the road. If you are going to the Odona clinic, they had taken out sludge from the gutter, and I was just asking myself, so one, now that we've done this, what's the next step? Are we going to leave it for it to slowly go back into the gutter, or these materials will be collected?
Nathan, if you look at the place you just described as well, again, it's a street. You see, this is it. Just like children are taught to own space, section green, class 2 front. Unless we are not ready to, okay. Why don't we stop as a country and say we are maybe let's say we can, because I don't see how you can have a nation where people don't take responsibility for spaces. Do you understand me? Like, how do you? Let's stop the country, or let's sell it. Like, if you say you are a country, this is basic. Like, the basics of society require that somebody takes responsibility for a space.
Yes.
So I don't know whether so is it because of NDC, MPP, or is it because when people go to school? Okay, so people go to school and learn leadership, or do you understand? Or is it that there's something about assemblies I don't understand? Is there some problem that assemblies are facing that is beyond my common knowledge? How do you allow refuse from a gutter to be heaped in front of people who are selling food, and then you just leave it and you are going to work? Okay, so the person who is the environmental officer for Okankwe South, when he tells his wife he's going to work, what is he going to do in the office? Do you understand? Like, Me and Mama, but me like the refuse is in front of the street, and then you wear a political suit and go and sit in the office and say you are going to work. What work are you doing? And the person who supervises this person doesn't care. Okay, so even if you don't, what, like, and the market people too. Why will you sell next to this? So you are a market person. Why will you tolerate such crap? Why will a person who pays market toll sit down and allow refuse to be put in front of them and still be walking about normally? Are you normal? Do you get me? You should be angry. You should say no. Never bear. Even if they don't sweep it, they should, like, your tolerance of this crap is part of the problem. Why do you allow refuse to be put in front of your shop and you are selling tomatoes and you are selling it normally as if there's something? It's like like there's something fundamentally wrong. Do you get me? How this is not nauseating to you? Caleb, describe what I put on the platform.
Bernard, someone has sent me a message to let you know that the stuff you are talking about is still there. It looks like night soil, very simply put. It looks like night soil. And this is at the heart of Kaneshie, right? The
a well-planned market too.
One of the
So if this is happening in Kaneshie, imagine what is happening in Malata or
It's crazy, Bernard.
Charlie.
It's crazy. I mean, I want us to go past 8 so I can share some data with you on open defecation. Now people are having breakfast. So I don't want to spoil the mood.
I wanted you to try and play the audio if it will work, but because I feel exasperated and I feel like we need a national day to repent against filth. Look, whether it's a weekend or whatever, even if it's cancelled Saturday or Sunday, let's do it. You know, let's give me someone who jump in the gutter again. You get me? Like, look, I feel like let's talk to me. What can we do? All right, markets dirty, lorry stations dirty, gutters filled with refuse, drains choked, storm drains overrun. Why? Street medians uncleared, grass growing, cows walking the streets, fighting with human beings for space. Why? Like, Nathan, what hurts me is that they are selling next to it.
Yeah.
That's what hurts me. Like, why? What happened to us? Is it media? Is it politics? Is it religion? What happened to the Ghanaian that filth doesn't nauseate them anymore? Yesterday, Caleb went to an event from Coniwas, an event on health sanitation. Nathan, on most of the Ghana's sanitation credentials are terrible. We are not clean. We'll bath our body and wear a nice shirt. Go to our secondary schools. Look at the state of their toilets. Do you get me? It's like there's a certain. Go to a public toilet in Accra. There's something fundamentally wrong with our mindset when it comes to cleanliness. You know, we have either been desensitized to filth. Even go to some of the public places. You can't get a place to even pee properly. Either we've been desensitized to filth, or we have convened, or I don't know whether it's our hypocrisy that makes us hide it. Look, it's terrible. It's terrible. And every day we have people sending messages about gutters. When people say they're doing cleanup exercise, they clear the gutter and they leave the sludge on the road, and the rain falls and puts it back in. You have assemblies. Okankwe South sub-metro of the AMA. Why is that thing in the Kaneshie market? Whose job is it to clear it? Market women of Kaneshie, why are you working side by side this field? Why do you tolerate such things?
The Kaneshie market is around Ablekuma Central, and part of the other places that have issues with good sanitation: prisons, health facilities, schools, like you mentioned, even churches and mosques.
My God.
Drinking spots and pubs, most of them do not have toilets. Police checkpoints on our roads.
My God.
And what we are talking about, our markets is a problem. Lorry stations, funeral grounds, and social gatherings, most of them do not have toilets. And Bernard, yesterday, Professor Simon Mariwa was giving us a presentation on the distribution of open defecation and how fecal matter is distributed across the country. It was not a nice thing to hear.
It's early, so let's wait.
Yes,
I'm happy you went for this event, but I just want people to tell me what we can do to change this spate of uncleanliness. Honestly, I'm exasperated. I'm exasperated because I feel like there are so many opportunities for us to get things right.
Yeah.
We've broken up AMA. When I was in secondary school, AMA started from UPSA Junction.
All the way.
IPS Junction, when I was in Presec, when you are driving out to Presec, when you get to IPS, they say you are entering GA. So when I cross the IPS barrier, they say you are entering GA North. So from there, AMA till Odio, right? So and this is like Presec 96 to 98. Today, AMA is just Ashiedu Keteke, Okainkwe South, and Ablekuma South. So basically, AMA is Choco, like Gamashi, and then Kaneshie. That's AMA. So you understand? So Okainkwe South. So Okainkwe South is Kaneshie, Mataiko, Latebi, Okoshi. Then you go to maybe, but I don't even think Banana in is part. You go around, Mamprobi.
Yeah.
Mamprobi down to Choco, and then possibly, Amamumu and those places. So that's AMA. Okay. So how do you, what's the arrangement for gutters in Accra? Look, Caleb, this even includes streets. Let's give another example. Yeah. So take the drive from Rawlings's Junction to School Junction. Yeah. Turn right and turn left. You are going towards Nanakrom.
Yeah.
That's a good road.
Solid.
Sand, silt all over.
Yeah.
You've spent millions of cedis to build the road.
Yeah.
People are sitting home not having work. 1/3 of the road is covered by Notier, and you leave it there. When it rains, the road is muddy. So is it that when we build something, we don't know the cost of the thing, and therefore we let it? Because if you leave that thing there for 3 months, it's going to destroy the road.
Yeah.
People are selling food. They throw the water on there. Nobody's enforcing anything. Just that there's something fundamentally wrong, I think, with the Ghanaian.
Bernard, have you been to the Pokwasi interchange recently?
No.
Last time I did, I used the 4th tier. But this weekend, I came from Nsawam towards Accra. I was so disappointed.
What happened?
In the median, like the whole place is weedy. And, the sand is also on the road, and the beauty of the interchange is gone.
Already?
If you are driving...
This interchange...
Drive from the Ablekuma side, right?
Yes.
If you drive from the Ablekuma side.
Yes.
Towards the...
Pokwasi side.
Not the Pokwasi, towards the Kwabinya side.
Yeah, so the one you go...
interchange. Yeah. You just take that drive.
Yeah.
You see how overgrown the medians are. And Bernard, you see, for me, what concerns me is that it's a highway. So if you allow the weeds to grow, your vision is obstructed. So you don't know whether somebody is turning in. You can't see anything.
Bernard,
and it strikes me that along that stretch, there's an assembly that when you turn off at a point, the signboard is there. Blah blah blah. Assembly office is right there.
So should we take cutlasses and go and weed it ourselves?
I don't know, because I'm being informed that even the street lights on the Pokwasi interchange are gone.
True. Let's stay on focus.
Yes.
Today I want to talk
about filth.
Filth. Yes, let's stay on focus. Things. I really want Ghanaians to tell me what happened to us, because it is terrible. It is terrible. I don't know. So it's 2 minutes to 8. Let's do a few announcements and let's see what we can do. Honestly, please call me and tell me something, or send me a message. I really am exasperated by the filth, and I feel like something has to give. We can't continue like this.
Yeah.
Something has to give. Yeah. Send me a voice note, okay? I really feel like we are not discussing our debt. We are dirty people. Yes, maybe let me say it that way so that we get it. We are dirty. Dirty not because we don't bath, but we are dirty because we tolerate filth, and we are like a whitewashed sepulcher, which on the outside looks clean, but inside is full of dead men's bones. That's what we are. So you have people who speak nicely, they dress well, but you enter a court, enter a hospital, enter any public place, the toilet is stinking. There is no sense of sanitation. The gutters are choked with polythene bags. Many people still in Accra go to toilet in polythene bags and throw them into gutters. Now there was a report that said even a lot of the vegetables we eat in Accra are polluted by fecal matter. We are dirty people. We have to agree. I have to say this to annoy you. You can't say I'm clean. You're not clean. You're dirty. That's what you are. That's why Accra is one of the dirtiest capitals in Africa. Yeah, you may say I'm speaking bad on my nation. I mean, the numbers show, he's going to play you some audios. The numbers show that we are not clean. Number 2, our authorities are mesha. Because there's no English word for that. They don't know how to do the work.
It's lack of coordination, because the institutions are plenty and the coordination is not proper.
So let's do a case study. Let's do a case study. It's a good point you make. So let's take this filth at Kaneshie.
Yeah.
Who's not coordinating? What is it? Not the assembly that's not doing their work?
That's it.
Nathan and Caleb.
Yes.
There's Kaneshie is a well-planned market. So you see, if Kaneshie was like an unplanned market, you can say, oh, the people.
Yeah.
You see, maybe like they just got up and started selling there.
Yeah.
Kaneshie was built. The road that the refuse is on is tarred. Cars are passing by. The shops in front are stores. Yet, probably half a ton or more. I don't know what the measure. Whatever of whatever it is. Sludge. I want a word that's not going to offend you. Is sat there dripping with, and people are working to work. Okay, people don't like this. So first point, we are dirty.
Yeah.
We tolerate filth.
Yeah.
Our leaders share.
Yeah.
Our assemblies don't work. Our assemblies are a scam. They are a scam. They are. What's the word I want to use?
Two-flat bulldog.
No, I want a good word. They are
non-functional.
Yeah, they are imposters.
But Bernard, what
they are pretending to be working, because from the way I see it, if you are an assembly, your job is to manage the space.
Yes.
A market is one of the most lucrative revenue centers of any assembly. Do you get it? So if your head is properly screwed on, a market should not be a loss-making entity. If you are serious. Now, you cannot have refuse in a market uncollected if you are not. That's the other. Like, what's the word for shan? I want the word. Like, if they say the guy is shan, they can't do the work. Do you get it? So this your lack of coordination is good, but I'm just saying let's put culpability where culpability lies. It's the assemblies, because Nathan, the assembly's job is to manage that space.
Yes.
The market is under this. All the bylaws are clear. It's the assembly.
Yeah.
So this one, yes, the assembly is not working, and we, the people who work in the market, are also complicit, because that refuse was put there by us and we've left it there.
Yeah.
And we are walking about freely and we don't care. So the people themselves are not clean. Their leaders don't know how to do anything, and then they are just deceiving themselves with grandiose. Accra, the cleanest city in my foot.
But that one, they've abandoned it already.
It's a disgrace. And the president is telling people, I don't want to go into politics.
You say it's legacy,
President Akufo-Addo, honestly, the things you said to us and the things that you are leaving, unless you are telling, look, it's terrible. Your legacy, there's no legacy. The filth in Accra it undermines. I mean, where is your sanitation minister? You have a whole ministry of sanitation. Yeah. Our wash credentials are atrocious. Open defecation, refuse uncollected, no recycling, gutters filled with filth, and undesilted drains.
Yeah.
Look, do you know that they are part of the Odo water body that you can actually cross on foot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A whole cow can cross the Odo, a water body that's supposed to collect water out of Accra. The June 3 flooding was because there was high tide, and the water that was coming from the Odo could not go. and people were flooded all the way to Adenta. You cannot tell me this is a country that's serious about sanitation.
And Bernard, while we are at it and the rains are on, you have 1,300 tons. Now we've gone past 8, so I'm sure people are done with breakfast. 1,300 tons of fecal matter spread across the country. 30%. 1,300
What
tons.
is 1 ton? 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms.
Yeah, so they explain it as, I think the cocoa sack, twice of that is 10 ton. So if you are doing 1,300, you can imagine.
My God.
Do the multiplication. 30% of our waste is uncollected, and 70% of the uncollected waste is burnt. So that's why if you drive past the motorway or sometimes in neighborhoods,
30% of our waste is uncollected,
and 70%
of
is
that
burnt.
Is burnt.
Yes, and it's raining. So if you have 1,300 tons of fecal matter spread across the country, and the system is such that when it rains, our gutters are overflowing and it's flooding, and the floods are entering the water bodies we have.
You have a feces
You are just going to be
program.
Exactly, you'll be consuming people's this thing.
No wonder these days the incidences of typhoid,
cholera.
yes, typhoid, especially typhoid, the incidences of typhoid, you have a lot more of those. You have a lot more.
So when
of
did we
those.
become? Have we always been this dirty?
I don't think so, Bernard. I don't think
What
so.
happened? So what happened? Is it politics? What? I don't get it. Anyway, let's. I want you to give me that audio, but let's do a couple of quick things. Let me clear these announcements.
Yes.
Then I'll play the audio because luckily you went to a program yesterday which discussed this. I'm going to harvest that knowledge. But listeners, send me a voice note. I want us to do something. What can we do about this? The assemblies, the markets. Should we sack them? Should we take brooms and go and sweep it ourselves? Should we close down schools and churches and say for the next week we are all weeding like groundswork? You know, I come to do speech day.
Yeah.
When I was in prison, when I went to do speech day,
scrubbing.
all school activities suspended. Form 1 to upper 6. Mofiamo, Cutlass. Whoa, we are all working.
But Bernard, there was a time we were all doing this every first Saturday of a new month.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to that, and they replaced it with something.
I told you.
Oh.
So I've seen a video, a photograph that was taken at 7:58, and somebody is collecting the refuse. So they've collected it. Somebody's collecting it. So they've collected it. So here it is. See. So you see the guy. He's wearing blue overalls with a fluorescent green strip. So you see what he's doing. He's collected it. So I think they went there at 7:56 to collect it. So he's collected the refuse. I won't clap for you. I won't clap for you. Let's read some comments. 054-998-6996. I want some voice notes. I'm exasperated. I'm frustrated about our lack of cleanliness in open spaces, gutters, markets, lorry stations, and then in places like courts, hospitals, schools. We don't have a sense of cleanliness. Caleb, please bring me the audio you wanted to bring. But Nathan, please read some comments for me this morning.
Right. This one says, today we take away every responsibility of cleanliness from children, so they grow up and they don't even know what to do when they meet a filthy situation. Mm-hmm. The Monday cleanup exercise being done in schools prior to reopening has been taken away from most schools because the children are DBs, quote unquote. You should go to schools and see the compounds after break or closing. It is sad. It is sad to see the leaders we are training or raising. This one says, some years ago we used to have the national cleaning exercise first Saturday of every month. However, in 2017, when a new government took over, the exercise was put aside. Says environmental officers are no longer allowed to work because when the offender is summoned, the DCE calls to direct you from prosecuting the person. Interesting. This one says, I don't understand why everything about this government is the opposite. Accra will be the cleanest city in Africa. It's rather becoming the dirtiest. Go to Tudu traffic light and face the city paints area. It says, unless you hold your nose. Max from Utinibi. And it's really disturbing. 2024, Accra is stinking. The Western Regional Coordinating Council is currently working and has deployed a project using a mobile application to spot fine offenders who violate environmental bylaws in the 14 districts. Now, it works in a way environmental health officers can easily prosecute repeat offenders. And the person is suggesting that we speak to the regional minister maybe to get some more insight. In the 90s, we used to have the city council that would go to every home to inspect cleanliness. If we are caught with refuse in your home, they will take you to court, or they would, summon you. We had one called Salifu Amankwa or Amakunwa, the big van with police going around the streets of Accra. When they saw you selling on the pavement, they would take your goods away to AMA, and you had to pay a huge fine before the goods were returned. What happened? Who brought us here? And that's from DJ Nature from Italy. Kobla says the Kaneshie Filth topic, the selection is to elect non-partisan DCEs. Our school system changed, and just like you were saying, I don't know if this section or plot cleaning by students is done anymore. We have to go back to that and enforce it from there. Educational systems are making us irresponsible and isn't whole if after school all of this is happening. Let's go back and start from the basic schools to the high schools. Ike from Finland.
054-998-6996. Here are a few more comments. Prof of Environmental Sciences. Good morning. I think sanitation should be the job of district assemblies. They should be empowered with tools and capacity to take care of their jurisdiction so they can easily be held accountable. We have put the sanitation of the country mostly in the hands of Zoom Lion. Also, NCC should be resourced to provide education to the public on good sanitation practices. There can also be a competition for clean district assemblies. You are right, schools should be targeted and made to clean their environment. We should name and shame the companies who renege on their sanitation duties. This is from listener. Good morning, Bernard. The sanitation problem is structural. We just need to bring sanitation back to local assemblies so the assemblies can be in charge. Is this message that's coming in? This is a long one. Bernard, Accra is probably the dirtiest capital city of the top economies in Africa, and it's such a shame. We have all the structures from sanitation ministry to local assemblies and all, but nothing is done to educate the Ghanaian and create a culture where people don't litter. It's sad that today I still see primary school kids littering. What are they taught in the schools? What does it mean to be a Ghanaian? What values and behaviors are we imbibing in them from their childhood? As a country, we are going to a place where only God knows. There's no clear direction. We are all over the place. Please hammer on this issue of sanitation until the leaders act on it. I'm in East Africa now, and with all the flooding, you don't see filth floating on their waters. We are a filthy bunch, and that's it. Let's get the clueless leaders to act, from the assembly members, MCs and DCs, and all to the very top. We can't continue like this. This is coming from Edem.
All right, Kekeli Mpobiman says your point on your point on this debt and Bola thing is good, but trust me, this is an election year. They won't take any action so as not to lose votes.
How will
I don't
help
understand.
me? How will cleaning Accra lose them votes?
I mean, getting people off the streets so that they don't litter.
Like, wait, is it like?
Bernard, look at this picture.
Am I missing?
Someone in a Mercedes Benz got down in the middle of traffic to pee. He just opened his door, the driver's side, and he's peeing.
Am I missing something when people say that because of elections they won't do the right thing? So like this Kaneshie situation that now they've gone to clear it. What has that got to do with elections? You get, it's like we make it seem as if we are justifying incompetence with this election refrain. Because honestly, what has it got to do with elections? Even if it has something to do with elections, they should be punished for not keeping the city clean. That's got to do with elections. Voters, let's not be foolish. Let's not be tolerating misgovernance in the name of elections and politics. If somebody can't clean the street and he can't manage a space, what's his business in government? And you say we don't do it because what elections? Are you saying that we the voters we are so stupid that we only vote for people? Like, what are you saying?
I
don't understand. Why? It's not an excuse. If election is anything at all, it should be a reason for doing the right thing. Because those who are sensible are more than those who are not. Unless you are telling me that the majority of us don't have sense, that we there, when someone wants to do the right thing, then we'll say we'll vote against them. How? Seriously, I think we should stop this election matter. That is an election issue. We have incompetent people.
We are.
Leadership is not easy. It's not a job that you just get up and do because if you can't do the work, let somebody else come and do it. And stop giving us excuses. That is election what? Is it the first time we're having elections in Ghana? And the problem is that we are stretching this to outside the crowd. Somebody sent me a picture from Winneba. Yeah. They did Abuachi Festival. Go and look at the field they left. We are our beaches. Chaka. More comments, Nathan.
All right. This one says, I visited Keta Beach with the family. Nice white sandy beaches, but I couldn't believe people were defecating all around. It was very embarrassing, especially because I had kids around. So there's something.
Clean cacao.
Bro. The level of tolerance for filth in this country is very high. Says you should go to Agbebulushi, train station, CMB market, and Malata market to see the filth. Most of the food items we eat will definitely have fecal matter on them. Most people are being paid for no work done. We don't hold our leaders responsible for anything. We help them to be ineffective. What happened to us? Very simple. There is no consequence for our actions and inactions. It's simple. But the state needs to bring back the town council operations. There should be special courts for sanitation and environmental management. And better still, a wing of the military should be established solely to ensure environmental cleanliness.
Why not? Let's solve our problems.
This one says, people are just negligent. I personally don't think education does it all. Common sense is a character God gave all his creations. You see it in animals. The cat cleans itself each time, birds, etc. Human beings know by experiencing the effects of actions over time, and that's enough education. Can we say we don't know the impact of dirt and uncleanness in our communities after being alive in this world for all these years? Must we get speakers on vans to tell people that not bathing will get them sick? Those days with less population, people didn't know because the impact was less. Now we do. We are just negligent, and we need good leaders to step up. That's from Stephen Asamoah Jare, Teshi Market.
Teshi Manet.
It says, where is the town council? What happened to Accra being the cleanest city in West Africa? What happened to responsibilities? Conclusions, we are sick.
The promise was not West Africa. It was in Africa. The promise is
This one says, I think traders in Ghana's markets generate the most filth in the country.
I agree.
To address this, I suggest the AMA and other district assemblies start imposing hefty fines on shop owners who fail to maintain clean storefronts or allow vendors to sell on the pavement in front of their shops. This will help deter people from selling on pavement and promote a cleaner environment.
We'll play a few voices, but there's also an audio of a program that has some more details on this. Let's get there quickly.
When it comes to open defecation, we see that it's rising in terms of the number of people. We have reduced it from 20% in 2000 to 17.7% in 2021. But the absolute number has doubled from around 700,000 to 1.5 million households. These are households. If you multiply this by 3.4, we're talking about more than 5 million people who defecate in the open. And the last time I did the analysis, you're talking about 1,300 tons of feces spread across the surface of Ghana on daily basis because of open defecation. 1,300 tons. And 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms. Apply 1,000 kilograms by 1,300. Because we know kilogram and how we are looking at it. If you convert it everything to kilogram, they know how many kilograms of feces we spread across and what's the implication for the rainy season that's coming. We will wash into our rivers, and there are people who depend on the water, surface water. What's the implication for health and all that? Then look at the spatial variation. As you move northwards, even though in the country you're talking about 17.7, we have regions that range around 68%, 55%, 58% in terms of open defecation. Of course, there are socio-cultural dynamics about that which can be explored in the different forums. We are not doing better in hand washing. Of course, because data is not available. I think we missed it in 2021 when we were not able to incorporate that. I think it missed all of us. I think going forward, you have to find a way of targeting it. Because if you have adequate sanitation and people don't wash their hands, then it's a problem. Research shows that washing your hand without soap is like not washing your hand. So it's important that we treat this. And washing your hand in a recycled bowl is like not, you're going to reinfect your hand. And that's why we need hand washing under running water. In terms of waste management, about 30% is uncollected. And the uncollected, what happens to that? This uncollected 30%. And this high for, and that's why what we see here, in the next round, we say that about 70% of uncollected waste is burned. If you burn it, what's the implication for climate change? If you burn it, what is the implication for pollution? No wonder Accra is one of the polluted cities in the world. Yeah. We burn a lot of waste. When you burn them, air pollution, right? And those, we have as much as 11% on just anywhere, anyhow. That's why we see all the polythene bags on the streets every time. We have some, anytime I get opportunity, I mention this, the neglected areas. We're talking about wash in prisons, wash in schools, wash in health facilities, wash in churches and mosques. They say cleanliness is next to godliness, but if you look at some of the wash situations in churches and mosques, you ask the same question again, whether it's actually next. Then drinking sports as we patrol, police checkpoints on our roads. Where do they do it when they need it? Marketplaces, lorry stations, funeral grounds, or social gatherings. These are areas we need to pay attention to if we really want to leave no one behind. Wash in schools, specifically, MS data shows that about 26% of public schools don't have toilet facilities. 26% of all public schools in the country don't have toilet facilities. In terms of water, 25%, 31% don't have urinals, open urination. I know the implication for all these, especially for toilet facilities. Now, we need to accelerate. We need funds. Something is going on. If you look at the progress that we made, 1.5 times progress we made from 2010 and 2021, it cost $500 million. So if you want to do 4 times, we need $2 billion to reach universal coverage in 2030. We are midway, 6 ways to go. Let's ask ourselves, can we make this? Even the $3 billion that we need from IMF, how long has it taken? Can the country make $2 billion available for wash? I don't think so. But we need to look at it and go forward. What has contributed to this? We have talked about all the several factors: attitude, enforcement, financing, economics, geography, whatever. But the question is that, what is the role of institutions in dealing with some of these? We need to look at it briefly, because our institutional arrangement might be a factor in what we're experiencing, and there's a need to throw a searchlight on that. That's the essence of it. A brief history. In 1961, WHO recommended a vast program for sanitary conditions in Ghana. 1961. And for that matter, the Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation was established in 1965. It was established, Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation. Water and sewage. In 1961, it was only Tema that had a sewage system managed by the Tema Development Corporation. Meanwhile, we had a lot of water investment. In 1914 in POM, we have by 1930s, 1918, we have in Sekondi, we have in Weja. In fact, the Weja Dam was the first in 1914, and then we went on. But it is 1961 that Ghana had a sewage system. So the point I'm making here is that anytime water and sanitation, even though they are co-joint trends, anytime they are together, sanitation suffers because investment goes to water. Of course, water is a private demand. If you are thirsty, you feel it at home. But if you do open defecation, all of us feel it. And so nobody has that interest. Then in 1986, we have Rural Water Department under Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation. Where was sanitation? The problem was that in 1977, at the World Water Conference in Argentina, 1980 to 1990 was declared as a decade for sanitation for all, water and sanitation for all. Unfortunately, by the end of the decade in 1990, in the world, 300 million people more lack toilet facilities than in 1980. Meanwhile, water has progressed. The point is that sanitation has not received the needed point. Even in 1993, when we had the World Water Day, it took us up to 2008 because we had World Sanitation Day. How many years? 15 years later, In 2000, when the MDGs were there, sanitation target was not part of it until 2002 in South Africa when it was added as an addendum. So sanitation has always been a neglected immune stream. That's why we are suffering. The Water Resource Commission was established in 1996. Community Water and Sanitation Agency was established because they wanted to take away the unwanted. I'll talk about that shortly. If you look at Ghana Water Company was brought in to replace Ghana Water and Sewerage Corporation when community water was taken out. But what's the reason for doing this? The official reason was to enable effective coordination with other environmental sanitation activities at the district level. At the district level, because they said the district assemblies were already doing some of these things, so let's add rural water and sanitation to it. But the unofficial explanation, as has been established, is to get rid of unwanted, that is sanitation, so that water can be attractive to investment.
All right, so that was
Professor Simon Mariwa. He's a professor of health and development geography at the University of Cape Coast. Now, David Von D is the MP for Trifo Atimokwa, and he.
So hold on, what was this professor? What was the context of the prof's
So he was giving a public lecture on aligning institutions within the wash sector and why.
What is wash?
So that is the water sanitation and then hygiene wash.
Okay, so that's the sector.
Yeah,
so he was pointing out the lack of coordination
exactly
as the problem.
Yes.
Good. Now the second person whose voice we are airing is who?
This man is David Von D. He's the member of parliament for Trifo Atimokwa. He believes that what we have lacked over the years is not policies, programs, or institutions, but political will to actually drive solutions for us.
Let's hear him.
Yeah. It is important to put our resources in managing our waste, because waste itself is money, and so we're trying to dialogue around that area. Yeah.
Well, with our issues which has to do with sanitation, you made mention that it is the lack of political will which is the main cause of our problems in the country. Can you shed more light on that?
Yes, it's very important to realize this lack of political will, and I still stand by that. I remember His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo declaring that Accra will be the cleanest city in the first 6 months, or if you like, first term of his administration. Unfortunately, Accra is becoming more dirtier and dirtier, and that's a very common knowledge that we all know. And if we have the will to clean Accra, we would have cleaned Accra, because we sunk a lot of money into, managing waste. Some $43 million and so forth and so on are gone. Accra is getting dirtier and dirtier. It rained yesterday, and I'm sure you all witnessed the kind of garbage we saw in our environment. Absolutely uncalled for, very horrible situations. We all saw it. And I believe that, the just ended regional minister, he's been shuffled. Is it, what's the name? Mr. Kwe? No. The one.
Henry Kote.
Henry was doing very well when he started. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. He just went off, and everything just got bad again. My opinion is that the levy, the waste levy we take from the people must go back to the people, and the people will be encouraged to work and to clean the cities. For example, how much are you paying somebody who is able to clean the environment and gather garbage to maybe a ton? Can we make some little things available for such person? He will be encouraged to gather more and will be able to have, a cleaner environment. If we don't give the money back to the people where we take the money from, they will not be encouraged to clean the environment. Point number 2, the government himself must be interested in seeing our country clean, and must make sure that when investment is made into the waste environment, it should then go there, and the work must be done. Otherwise, we'll continue to share the money, we'll continue to chop the money, and we will not get anywhere. It is important to realize that waste can be money. Why don't we gather all the garbage and use it to generate power? We are in doomsday today, but the garbage we have out there can give us the opportunity to generate power. Why are we not doing that? Why are we wasting them and are using it to cause more trouble, harm to the individuals and our environment are getting sick, instead of gathering it and making it money? Some countries are importing waste, you understand that? So we must be blessed to have a lot of waste if we want to use it to make money. And I'm sure it's doable. And that is why I congratulate, is it the name Koniwax? For their effort in trying to manage water.
So that was the MP for Shifo. Now, just a quick correction. The waste actually has not been collected. So, you know, I'm on air, so people send me things. Apparently, the AMA is saying that the part of Kaneshie that I posted is not under their jurisdiction. Yeah. So it is Ablekuma Central. Yeah. Fair enough. So it's not AMA that's supposed to collect that refuse. Yeah. But the refuse is still there. So they also sent us their daily report on sanitation works. Okay. So they sent us photos of places within their jurisdiction that they've been cleaning. Okay. So that's what he sent. So that's the confusion. So the waste is still there. So apparently, so technically, Okanekwe South in my head has Kaneshie, but this particular part we are told is under Ablekuma Central. Yeah. Fair enough. So point well taken. Now I feel like people misunderstand what I'm trying to do today. So people are like, oh, Charlie, why are you? You know, yesterday when I went to a program, people say, Charlie, you are hitting at us. You know, I haven't mentioned anybody's name on this program. All right, and honestly speaking, I don't wake up thinking of hitting at people. All right, but we have to collectively be our consciences have to be pricked by the filth. Now, the fact that the refuse is there in the place is a problem, and the fact that it's uncollected is a second problem. All right, and leadership is the issue. All right, so yes, you can say it's not AMA, it's as Ablekuma, but they are all assemblies. Okay, so whether it's AMA or it's Minachole, Ablekuma Central is an assembly on its own. It's the same thing.
But this is not even new. In fact, that Kaneshie place where the footbridge is, that's where the trucks that collect the refuse usually go to collect them. And sometimes before the trucks will get there, there'll be a huge heap of refuse collected there, and it will take a long time before they will go and pick them up. We've done about town at Kaneshie before, and we've done stories on this same thing. And the storm drain at Kaneshie, just down that road, it's always choked. So the place floods, and the pungent smell that comes from that place that's supposed to be a market.
I want to make a direct appeal to Titus Glover. He's the minister for the Greater. I feel like he's an action guy. He should call the assemblies to a meeting to review their sanitation and come up with something within the next, I don't know. He's on the Ramsar site.
Yeah.
He should get the assemblies to work. This idea that, this is Ablekuma Central, it's not Ablekuma South, it's this, it's that. Fine. Everybody's trying to say it's not me. Okay, but within all of your jurisdictions, there's filth. All right. So I'm appealing to the Greater Accra Regional Minister to convene a meeting of the assemblies and take daily reports of the sanitation situation in the capital and do something about it. And this is for market and for residences, because already from yesterday, people are saying that their refuse had not been collected in some homes. Afienya, some parts of Sakumon or Tema and things. They say from March, refuse not collected. So this is home refuse. Then you have markets with dysfunctional refuse collection. Then you have gutters choked. Then you have storm drains also unclean. It's like there are various layers of failure that are affecting development in the capital. More comments coming in. Let's play a few voice notes that we got earlier when the discussion started.
Good morning, Citi FM. Good morning, Bernard. What I want to say, I can't even type it. Look, so about the Ghanaian, I think that for most people, they have given up. They've given up in their minds about the country, so they don't really care what happens, because people will stand in front of Filth and they don't care. And you ask them, and people will buy anyway. The past few weeks, I've been going to the market, and it's really, really sad what we as Ghanaians even do to Ghanaians. So you go to those who sell tomatoes, they are sorting it out, and they sort out the rotten tomatoes, not to throw away, but then you see people coming to buy it in basins and loads of basins. They don't wash it, Bernard. They will take it, go and grind it, and use it for stew. So most of the foods you are eating outside, you are eating rotten tomatoes with all the whitey mold and everything on it, the poisonous stuff. That thing is supposed to be discarded. They will grind it and use it for stew. And you should see where they grind onions and tomatoes and peppers. And you ask yourself that this thing you are doing to your own people, is it fair? You don't even get it. I wanted to go to buy something in Accra, and then they suggested, oh, go to Agbogbloshie. I said, no, I don't like Agbogbloshie. Okay, I said, okay, let me give it a shot. When I was about to go, the man was like, it has rained, though, and when it rains, Agbogbloshie is a mess. This is somebody in Accra telling me this. It means the place is so bad, yet they are selling food and everything. I just walked away. I couldn't even purchase. I was like, look, I'd rather buy it somewhere else. So it's the mind of the people. The mind is gone, Bernard. There's no empathy. There's nothing. They feel there's nothing to live for. So you know what we are living for today. So whether I sell you poisonous food or not, I mean, I don't care. I just need to make some money to get by. When you talk about washrooms, I mean, I go for clinicals, I go for practicum, and I can't even use hospital washrooms. You will have to hold your pee till you probably get home, or you find a guest house or a hotel along the way, park in and use the washroom. It doesn't make sense. Bernard, I don't know, but look, I don't know how we are going to do this, but the mind of the Ghanaian is gone.
Bernard, morning. I hope you are good. Yeah, I think it's good you are doing this program today, and but I guess we are forgetting one thing: the cause of this whole problem that we are facing in Accra. Go back to the Statistical Service report that they did, and I think about, if my memory serves me correctly, we are looking at about 60% or so people are living in kiosks and uncompleted buildings. So the question that I want to ask ourselves is that, where do these people who live in these kiosks and containers and uncompleted buildings, manage? Where do they take their garbage to? Where do they go to toilet? Where do they go to pee and all that? So that is a major discussion. I guess we started some conversation on that issue, and I think it died down. Of course, I mean, there are so many issues every day as developing as a third world country. But not until we solve that problem, we are going to have this problem compounding each day and each night. So basically, unless we try with the assemblies, clear people from the street or from those containers, and in our own corners, even people who live in houses that are completed and all that, they end up packing their garbage into cars and dropping them in the gutters. Sometimes I drive on my own road. I live around the Kwabenya. Here is not in Kwabenya. This is GBC Jangote Towers area. And in the morning, you see people driving and they park by the roadside. They are just offloading into the bush, forgetting that those, especially the plastics, will find their way onto the water streams and water bodies across, But that is a challenge. But I think it is all about all of us collectively, even with us living in those houses, changing our mindset and taking steps to also ensure that those people who are living nearby us, who don't have houses, who don't have toilet facilities and all that, we check them. Those of us who live around them, because the Bible says what? The evil strives when a good man sit by and do nothing.
Bernard, good morning. Charlie, I was in Ho recently, Ho is so clean. So I've been asking, is it structural, is it rules working, or is it cultural? Can the big cities learn from towns and cities like that? And work it backwards.
Good morning, Bernard and team. You are right. We are very filthy. Our offices, even it has extended to our schools, the universities. It's terrible. You go to university washroom and edifice and what is there, schools, that is so bad. But the assembly is to be blamed. I had a bad experience. I have worked in assembly for years before leaving, okay? So you have something and then it's like you have a link there to call. So you call somebody and say, oh, I have seen so and so, what can we do? Can you dispatch your men? Because the fact is that if somebody see that debt and want to collect it, where would the person collect it to? It's the assembly that has to provide the means for you to be able to do something. When you call them, it's like even me who know people there, when you call them, it's like they are doing you some favor. The kind of questions they will be asking you and that. Meanwhile, they have sent their collectors and they are all over the market collecting market too. So it's the assembly that has failed us, and Ghanaians have become tired and reluctant. It's like, is it your business? Look, I had a bad experience with maids. They threw something on the floor in front of me. Okay, so I blew my horn and then I got down because there was a traffic block, and then I walked there. The guy came and hit my car, and then all the passengers were asking me whether it's my house. So I was breaking windscreen. Like that. Elderly people. I was so shocked. So I had to pick the thing myself. This is where we are. Okay, so if it has happened to me, next time will I want to do that so that they come and damage my whiskey and who buy it for me? It's assembly. The assembly is not helping in any way. The politics, the kind of people they put there, they don't know they are left from they are right. If you are a professional, you advise them, you are NDC, you are MPP, they will tag you and they will start frustrating you when they want to do the wrong thing and you correct, you are in trouble. Environmental health officer will boldly walk to choose the executive and said, I am an MPP. So once they affiliate themselves, they want favor. So even if they are not, they have forgotten completely about the profession. I am MPP, my so and so is a president, a friend, and all that. That is what brought us. And then Zoom Lion, they will use all the common fund to buy equipment for them. The equipment are nowhere at the disposal of the assembly to work with. So that is why we are here. Thank you. My name is Enyo.
Good morning, Citi CBS. This our sanitation there is a big deal. I remember, I think the previous government, they used to have Saturday cleanup once every month. What happened to it? I think the new government came and they had to stop it and all this. When you use the Legon Road, the Legon to Accra Road, after Oponglo bus stop, you see that the mud from where they cleared the car park for the Legon Stadium, they are on the main road, and when it rains, it causes flooding around that side. Then up till now, the mud is still on the road. City authorities haven't seen it. Those working there haven't seen it to clear that mud from the road. Our attitude from our authorities are just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. I mean, we the citizens, there's nothing we could do. But those in authorities, those who've been charged to do this, those who we pay with our taxpayers' money, they need to sit up. Good morning, this is KB from Adenta.
Good morning, Bernard and the team. I am happy to share my idea on this issue because this is one of my research interests, and I've done some number of works in this area. Yeah, so in Kumasi, I did a research in markets, especially the central business districts, Asafo markets, Bantima market, Kijitia market. These were the three main study areas that I used during that time. Now, my research was to see what motivates or see the readiness of market women to separate solid waste. Now, the understanding is that these people are willing and are ready to separate the solid waste. The only thing they want is that they want different colored bins available, indicating where to place what in local languages. So they understand that a color depicts a certain kind of waste that they have to put in the waste bin. And it should be regularly picked. I mean, they should take the waste that they will collect or separate this alone will motivate them. Now, but because something, the theory of planned behavior, you see, there are things that when it is there will motivate people to act in a certain manner. So far as those things are not available, the people find a convenient means to dispose waste. If the things are available, that is where you can really in a way enforce people or lure them to partake in certain collective action.
Bernard and team, good morning. This is Godwin, your favorite listener. You have to listen to this audio. I went to the market, Medina Market, to purchase some fruit and then vegetables for my breakfast and things, how we do it. And then got to know that the place was very stinky, dirty, crafted with bola and then refuse all over around. And then these people are sitting there selling. I got to ask myself, come on, what's this? Is this what I'm going to eat? And then all these places is being dirty like this. So I had to turn out and then look for a different place. And this is the country we live in. We are prioritizing ourselves with the name of political affiliations, and then we don't even know what we are doing as a country. It's very so sad.
Yo, Bernard, good morning. You want to see how Ghana can fix its filth and its problem in general? I'll give you the solution, but I know you won't like it. Bring back the British. Bring back the colonial days. Bring back this the colonial rule. Look, and every morning when we wake up, everybody receives 666. Every morning, 666 before we go to work. Can tell you, just in a year, the problem of this country will be resolved. I'm telling you.
Please, hi Bernard. Good morning. I'm happy you brought this up. Please just come to Ashama, from Tema heading to Ashama, on the overhead. The rails at the edge of the road that prevents any veering of car. The rails has all been stolen. And I mean, a whole community like Ashama, people are there watching. The whole race has been moved from there. Today, if a car veer off that road, the way people would die, they will just go off onto the motorway downstairs. Please, our country, we are in a mess. We don't have leaders. We have, how do we call it? Bad management crew. I'm Mr. Abeka, Tema, and Ashama. Thank you.
Yo, Bernard, good morning. You want to see how Ghana can fix its filth and its problem in general? I'll give you the solution, but I know you won't like it. Bring back the British. Bring back the colonial days. Bring back this the colonial rule. Look, and every morning when we wake up, everybody receives 666. Every morning, 666 before we go to work. Can tell you, just in a year, the problem of this country will be resolved. I'm telling you.
But what have we done before they just be giving us 666? Oh my God. I'm telling you.
Oh, Charlie. Everybody 666.
This man.
Oh, Yehovah. Honestly speaking, as they say, once you'll be soon.
Bernard, while we struggle to collect the waste, we are not reducing the garbage we produce either. Every day we produce 3,000 tons of waste in Accra alone. If you check the Accra Resilience Report, if you go down to housing and sanitation, we produce 3,000 tons per day. And one of the people who sent an audio talked about the housing structure we have. We have 58% of the population in Accra living in informal housing structures. So if people are in kiosks and all that kind of thing, his question is what are the toilet facilities they are using? What are the waste bins? Where are they? Who is collecting all those? So if you have 58% of the population living in Accra living in informal structures, it means that you are going to have issues with your waste collection, generation, and all of that. Exactly. In terms of the waste generation, it's of how are we segregating the thing we are throwing away. But if you go buy kinky today, the kinky is in rubber. The kinky is of the bowl of kinky is in rubber. The pepper, if you want red, they'll put in different rubber. Black pepper is in different rubber. Green pepper is in that's 4 different rubbers. That is, if you buy 2 balls of kinky, that comes to 5. The fish is in another rubber, that's 6. They'll put it in another that is blue, that's 7. Then a bigger one that's black, that's 8.
So 8 plastics for 1 ball.
Yes. And then you are throwing all away. You are not also segregating it.
All right. So wait, let me just give 2 points. So I'm appealing again to the Greater Accra Regional Minister and the Sanitation Minister to come together to try and address this. We will support. We believe that we can use this platform to push behavioral change. And I want to appeal to Titus Glover, who's the Greater Accra Regional Minister, to do something. At least we are starting with the Greater Accra region, where he will bring all the assemblies together, the sanitation officers, listen to their problems, and give them his marching orders together with the sanitation minister designate, because I don't think she's been confirmed yet. But I think that the 2 people who can do this, sanitation and regional minister, honestly. Well, we are happy with your comments. Nathan, can you read a few more for us briefly? A few more, just to get the issues aligned.
All right. This one says, you're asking how we got here, a situation where we are engulfed with filth. Sanitation needs hard, tough action and enforcement of plans. You can't be gentle with sanitation issues. When the former Greater Accra Regional Minister, Honorable Enrique, was cleaning up and bringing some order into the city, what did the NPP politicians do? They screamed he was making the party unpopular. With this attitude of politicians, the system becomes free for all.
But it's sad,
Charlie.
It's sad, that a man who was trying to really lead to help us, MPP no try.
Enough us. Hey. But I remember the COVID time. If you drive to the Central Market, they brought the military to clean up the place. They still. Accra was nice from Cocoa Board area all the way to Mokola, TUC, Rollins Park. Try there today.
Our traffic lights were moving. When you go to Medina, there's Zongo Junction. Everybody's using the footbridge. Oh, and record it.
It's a shame. The man go inside the Ramsar. He said, we'll show them something. Then they show him things. They have just deflated his time.
they have killed his vein.
This one says, since my childhood, we have always said open gutters cause cholera and malaria. Over 30 years now, and politicians are claiming that building open gutters is an achievement. Hey, Ghana. This was the Kaneshie issue is an age-old thing. I remember in 2013, we wanted to run an activation at the Kaneshie market. I went to the assembly to pay for a permit, and I saw the heap of refuse. So I asked the man who was going to issue the permit when they were going to clear it, and he didn't have any idea. So I declined going ahead with the activation there. So Kaneshie has been like this for a long time. I think the problem is leadership. The assembly is right there in the market complex.
That's Ken from
Nungwa. Okay. All right, this one says, you said when you were in school, if section green was not well swept, the teacher will call for section green. Section green prefect. My take, the teacher would not ask all the students to engage in a cleanup campaign. The person directly responsible will be held accountable. True. Now, we as adults Ghanaians, with this collective responsibility mantra, we allow individuals to get away with shirking their individual responsibility. Nana from Uyibi. All right, this one, as we talk about filth and waste management, let's talk about waste reduction. When we were young, if we were going to buy foods like bobo, wache rice, cocoa at your junction, you went with your bowl or flask. Yeah. Buying gari, rice, corn dough from the etc., you went with your bowl. Today we leave home and we go and buy into a plastic bag and take it home. Where from this culture, our mothers had baskets they took to the markets for shopping. What changed? All right, this one says, we lost our humanity as a people. We are ungodly. We put money ahead of every virtue. We are corrupt. All these accounts for the way we live. The filth is a byproduct. Mela sends that message.